Alright, welcome to part 4 of the video walkthrough for the last Pikeman. This is FYNDR, and here we are where we left off. Before we were in that room with the platforms and the sharks, and now we're in the Megaman Room. And the reason it's called the Megaman Room is because if you've played one of the NES Mega Man games, you probably sort of recognize these little icons as being health drops. And if you fall on one of them, like this one, you'll notice that over in the upper left corner there, part of the health bar filled up. And if you let it fill up too high, you won't be able to make it into the next room. So the trick is to try to hit as few of these health drops as possible so that you're still able to make it. So, let me see. The point at which I took the first jump down in the lower right would be the first one that you have to hit. The two over here you also have to hit, and I think that's about it. You can still make it up through that gap, but you can't hit any more. So you're going to have to get real close to there and do a series of jumps. There we go. Actually, that was better than I expected. And then just continue along your way. So this room, it's not my favorite room actually, because it's got an unintuitive puzzle in it. But you'll notice there are sharks over there. There's stuff going on up here, but we'll worry about that later. So let's just proceed in this direction. There's alternating water and lava. Right there's a secret block. You want to go through this as quickly as possible so the sharks don't speed up. As you may recall, when they change direction, if you're in the water, then they increase their speed. So then you just time it so that you land in the water safely. And right here, whoops, right there, if you'll recall, there's a pit of lava in the way. Let me see if I can get it on screen. Doesn't look like I can. Anyway, there's no way to jump over the second lava pit to the left, and so the way to get past it is actually, well, I'll just illustrate it. I think that'll actually be a little better, if I can even make it to the lava pit. I guess we'll find out. But at any rate, what you actually do is walk underneath the lava, which doesn't make any sense if you're just, used to playing any game, because lava kills you. But as you can see, I can walk underneath here, and the sharks are speeding up a lot, so I'll just jump out of there. If you try to walk under any other lava, it'll kill you, and if you try to jump up while underneath that lava, you'll run into actual lava, and that will kill you. So I don't really like that puzzle because it doesn't make any sense, and you probably try to jump up and try to dodge sharks and hit maybe an invisible block that might be there, but there isn't any. You just walk under the lava. So, whatever, it's unintuitive. Over here, you just wait until an opening appears in the spikes, and you get to the flag. Okay, so there's an angel. We ran into one before, but it just sort of phased out of view. So, to briefly describe, it just sort of bobs up and down until you get within a certain distance. And then it, whoops, I jumped right into that one. And then it just zooms at wherever you were at before. And this is just jumping across platforms and stabbing dudes. And of course, a spike platform. Okay, so we have a couple suicide guys. Try not to get hit by them, because they'll blow up and kill you. Then over here, okay, there's no traps over here. Whoa, okay, I guess there was a trap there. Whoops. So we head back up. Ignore the exploding guys. He's just gonna get stuck there forever. Trigger the spikes first. And now to get past this part, you'll have to be used to jumping and landing. Because what you'll need to do is jump and land with just your foot barely touching each of these platforms. Because if you go too far, you run into the laser and die. If you don't go far enough, you'll fall into another laser, most likely. So something like that. And then this cat, if you've played the first path, you think that it's going to try to shoot you. But this one actually gives you a nice little flag and a good luck. The flag actually is superfluous because the next room is a boss room. Grafted Magehand. Whoop! And what you have to remember is at the very beginning of the battle, he shoots a little... oh god. He shoots a little Hadouken at you, and you have to jump over that every time. So, just to recall, jump, otherwise you'll die. And how this works, how this boss battle works is, for the first stage, Grafted Magehand has 3 different attacks that he tries to hit you with. And he chooses from them randomly, sort of like taking cards out of a deck of just 3, we'll say. So, his attack, this one is expanding bullets, and I'll illustrate how to get past that. We'll wait for him to... okay. Well, the first attack, you just... well, I just took that in the chest, so that's great. So jump over the initial attack. I'll let you know. His first attack, you jump over. That wave, you can't easily jump over because it's higher than what you can normally jump. That second attack there is lightning, which distributes randomly across the playing field. And that one's a bit harder to dodge. So here you just go to the edge and jump over. That's the most consistent way of dodging that. Expanding bullets, you jump left and then right as you're falling. Lightning, you just sort of step out of the way. And then here, he warps and you want to stab him. Whoop. Nah, I was too slow. So jump. And jump again. This boss battle's somewhat complicated just because it's all very random. So it's hard to consistently beat him. Okay, so 3 attacks, he warps, and you want to stab him. And now in the second iteration, he does 4 attacks, the same 3 attacks as before, plus an added one. So we just dodge the first 3 as we did before. That one wasn't too bad. And then he's got this 4th attack, where he throws knives. That one's hard to dodge, because the knives appear at random. So my main criticism with this boss, although it's kind of a fun boss just because it's very flashy and interesting, whoops, is that it's super random, so it's not really that skill-based. I mean, a lot of it is skill-based, because you have to be prepared for whatever contingencies you might end up facing. But there are certain things that just end up screwing you, and you have no real control over it. Like if the lightning is placed too closely, you have to end up jumping over this chasm a little bit to dodge it, and it gets much harder. For this one, it's just jumping up and down, dodging left and right. And there's no real good way around that. So here we go through his 4 attacks. The next one should be the expanding bullets. Yep, and we dodge that. And then he'll warp, and you stab him. Whoops, yeah, okay, good, I got him. So now, this is the same as before, but he has an extra attack. So let's see. And then he's gonna do the bullets. Now this attack, you have to jump like this. Whoops, oh, dang. That was close too. And that's the thing, is a lot of this is a time commitment, in that he's got 3 plus 4 plus 5 attacks that you have to dodge, in whatever order he throws them at you. So, yeah. It's kinda hard. Although I guess it's kind of a nice change of pace compared to the other bosses, since I sort of breezed through those. I don't think that really illustrates how hard the bosses can end up being. But here it's sort of can end up being sort of a roadblock. But we'll see how it goes. I might be able to defeat him within time. So we'll see. Otherwise I'll just end up having to make another video. Whoop. Okay, there we go. lightning, and he's gonna get stabbed. Okay, that was kind of close. Okay, so his final attack, his new attack on the third iteration, occurs randomly, and what you want to do is jump in the middle of those waves, because otherwise you will just instantly die. And it's kind of hard to do, but if you can manage it, then, you know, more power to you. And now he should warp, and... Oh! Are you serious? I was too slow, and he would have died. He would have died so good, but I don't know. I guess that sort of exemplifies the nature of this boss fight fairly well. Whoop. So, bullets and warp. So right as he disappears, you wouldn't be remiss in just hitting the Pike button, since the animation for the Pike is actually fairly long. So you can sort of get away with it. Oh, wow. Yeah, that was pretty much undodgeable. Unless I had gone to the edge and just done a jump. Which I think is what I'll do from now on, just because it's harder to do, but it's at least consistently reliable. Except for in situations like that, where the lightning didn't even connect with the ground, actually. So, it's not terribly realistic. Then, not much of this game is supposed to be, but you know what I mean. So, dodge. Lightning. Okay, like that, see? That way you don't get hit by the lightning. But you have to time it just right and all that. But it's not too terrible. Okay. Warp, stab. And now the final 5. Dodge. Lightning. Waves. So you have to make sure that he's not doing the regular attack, where he's just doing a diagonal downward Hadoken that turns into a wave. So that can trick you. Okay, so now he's going to die for real. Stab. Okay, there. And then he blows up, and his hand falls down a pit, and I get the unit, and that's super. Plays a little Final Fantasy victory music there, and now we're at the last portion. One more boss to face, and I may as well continue on, because we got a couple minutes yet. So right here, giant sunbeams try to kill you, but there's a secret block right there. So you have to hit that, and then it gets stopped that way. Spike trap. And here what you want to do is jump and then do a quick jump right there. If you do it too early, you'll get pushed into the spikes. If you do it too late, you'll jump into the spikes. So another place where the fixed height jump is sort of an issue, because you can't just do a little short jump and circumvent that. Castlevania music in the background. It's kind of nice. This door will try to kill you, so just trigger it and continue on your way. Don't fear the Reaper. Whoops. Okay. Back onto the platform. So there's a trick to this, because if you land on this platform here, you run across and jump, so you don't get killed by that giant worm. Let's go in the next room. Oh. So yeah, that room instantly kills you. And the text up there, "Don't fear the Reaper," is supposed to be meant as sort of a clue. And that is, you have to jump into this giant worm snake thing's mouth. Which is kind of hard, because if you hit the edge of his mouth, you end up dying. So just try to finagle your way in. You get crapped out the other end, and then you just have to jump over here. And you have to be vigilant not to fall through those platforms and end up, you know, sinking into lava. So that's all the time we have for now. We're making decent progress on our way toward the 4th boss, and we'll see how things go from there. But until then, I'm going to just sign off, and I will record another video later.